Hello everyone and welcome to Brother Earth Healing. Happy Friday for catching the video today on our recording day. This is going to be a video for fire signs, tapping into fire energies right now and seeing what's going on as a end of the month review, reflection. Just kind of wrapping up the end of the month with some messages for support and for our healing. So it's, thank you for joining me. It's so nice to be with you and share with you. Been trying to, in all of the videos for the end of this first month of recording, just offering a lot of gratitude to you all for all the support and all the love. And it's been beautiful to kind of start this little project on YouTube and making videos and channeling messages for everyone. It definitely benefits me so much as well. It's just been a real joy. I'm going to start. As soon as I got home from work, actually, just a little while ago, I had a lot of stuff coming through already. So I'm going to try to make our intro quite short today. So we can go ahead and just start with some gratitude and take a few breaths together, just settling wherever you are. Take nice big belly breaths. And as we begin to settle in and calm our emotions, calm the mind down, we can just offer ourselves a little quiet, a little space to open up to receive whatever we need to receive today. And just knowing whatever comes through, whatever resonates is for us, and we can leave the rest behind that might not resonate as much. And I'll invite you to also check out the other videos for the end of the month for the other sign groups, water, air, and earth signs. Maybe offer some more of another piece of the puzzle for you, some more messages that would be helpful. As we settle into this space, I'll offer some gratitude and prayers for us. So thank you, dear Blessed Spirit, blessed teachers. So much gratitude to you. Thank you, dear ancestors. Ancestors from our blood heritage, as well as our spiritual heritage. Thank you for paving the path. I want to ask for some clarity for offering messages that will be of really great healing and love and support for all of us here in this space. Yeah. So much gratitude. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and get started. I want to touch a little bit on what I was already picking up on. I was getting really, really strong messages revolving social justice, which has obviously been a huge part of the past few months. And just a lot happening. I was picking up on just a lot of really vibrant, really great energy, very fiery, very, very alive. I feel like in some ways, what's coming through was that in some ways, for some people, that has been coming through in a way that's been maybe a little bit destructive. And I was particularly picking up on the element that was destructive, that's leaning, the emotion was coming from maybe a place of real anger, like real strong anger and hatred kind of evolving out of that for those who are, kind of seen as the perpetrators or the enemies, right? In whatever, kind of seeing the situation as a battle, right? As a battlefield with with sides, different sides and opposing sides and different players. Okay. So the real message for healing and how to heal and evolve through this to a more approaching the situation in a more evolved and mindful way, a place that's approaching the situation from a place of love and really wanting to move past, move through, and also in that way create real change, like real lasting evolution and change, using this time wisely, for that cause, that purpose, to move past, racism and social, economic injustice. And one of the things that came through really strongly was a prison system, and how we view people that, and also police officers, particularly where a lot of the attention is right now, who have been really acting in many ways, like acting out in a very aggressive, very biased, racist, just blatant racism in a lot of situations as well. And the message might not at first, when it first touches your ears, it might not be, it might be some, like, a lot of resistance, but I think it's very important that we hear this and have an open mind, right? Really just having an open mind. So what came through was, I guess in the most concise way, is there are no enemies. There are no enemies. There are no enemies in the heart. There are no enemies. Okay. And the medicine that's really potent, very potent teaching and wisdom and medicine to aid and to heal in this process of really learning to always come from a place of love when we approach these really difficult issues and situations, particularly when we see people acting in violence against others, against other groups, is this very enlightened way and very different way of looking at the situation and people that we see as perpetrators of of these acts of violence and whatnot. And it's about looking at people and also just all people, really as children, as little children that don't understand, like, the true effects of their actions, like the true effects, right? Really don't have the capacity to see that and to have that foresight. And even those acting out of intentional, like in a I guess I would say kind of quote unquote intentionally looking to harm, with intentional, predisposition to, racism, people who are acting in a discriminatory way. There's this really beautiful message of just coming to a place where we can accept that all are innocent. And that's very radical. I know that's very radical and very, but let me follow the message through and let's try to be open. I think what the message really is that all are innocent in the sense that, like I was saying, there's no, I think a good way to say it is if those of us, if we knew the real effect that our actions had in a negative way, and really had the opportunity to experience and connect with those outcomes and effects deeply and truly understand them, right? We wouldn't do the things that we do. Those things wouldn't happen. And it comes back to, the Buddha's teaching on ignorance. All suffering arises from ignorance, from a lack of understanding, right? Lack of understanding, and in a big part, a lack of understanding of the suffering, right? and a lack of understanding of the effects of our actions, and a lack of understanding of who we truly are in our true relationship with one another. That goes much, much beyond, you know, the color of our skin, where we come from, the neighborhood we grew up, our economic, you know, socioeconomic class, and even beyond our actions, the actions that we've done, you know, no matter how, you know, maybe negative or whatever, you know. And this really came across strongly in terms of prison reform, and I was just feeling this beautiful, like, gradual process of coming into the understanding of this, you know, innocence of all of us, you know, this real collective innocence, just children. We don't know the way, we don't know, like, you know, we're just acting out of these strong emotions, you know, acting from ignorance, you know, from a place of deep ignorance, you know, and once we learn to really see in that way, you know, with that real clarity and wisdom and compassion and love, you know, for one another, regardless of, you know, regardless of what the situation is, you come to a place of, like, really wanting to help each other, right? Really wanting to help each other, no matter how egregious the crime, no matter how, right? Really wanting to help each other, because we understand that it's ignorance. It's the acting out of ignorance, not acting out of, you know, our true self, who we truly are. So I've been already speaking already, and for quite a while, without pulling cards, which is okay with me. I do a lot of other kinds of intuitive work that don't include tarot or cards. But yeah, I was just channeling that so strongly, and I hope that we can hear that openly, and even if it doesn't feel resonant right away, I feel it so strongly as such deep, potent truth and medicine that, yeah, it would mean a lot to me, and I think it would be very healing for us to sit with that and look at that a little bit more deeply. So let me kind of get onto our reading a little bit. One last thing, I just think that message is coming through because of everything that's going on, obviously, but because we're seeing so much of the negative effects of acting out of ignorance and strong emotion, both in law enforcement situations involving law enforcement, as well as just in many other ways, like especially in terms of, like, the way we relate to our planet, you know. It's just so much waste and so much toxicity from products we use and everything, and the way we accept that, and learning to see this whole situation as an opportunity to address all these other issues and open our eyes to these situations, and with the same urgency that we are with supporting, you know, the cause, you know, of Black Lives Matter, and you know, everything like this. So let's move on, and I'm sure more will come out as we go. So this was our first kind of oracle card that came out. I haven't normally been pulling these immediately, and I'm feeling like this is very clearly the energy that was coming through right now, and the guidance that was coming through. I just see so clearly in this. There's like an eye, this eye right in the middle, right? This just very, just clarity, just complete, like no filter, just seeing complete reality in all of its, you know, it's kind of like this, it kind of reminds me of a compass, right? In all of its, in all directions, in all situations, in this complete clarity of reality, the whole situation, right? Every aspect, every corner, every direction, guardian, choose your path. I feel like those words don't resonate as much with the message that's coming through. I think it's more about, when I'm getting really strongly, is more about that there's a lot of support for us to learn to shift our consciousness in that way, shift our awareness, have a shift in awareness in a very collective way. And again, I've been saying this in all the readings, but it feels like what's coming up is that there's this really beautiful collective experience, right? That we're really allowing us to relate to each other because we're all having such a strong collective experience in a way that's helping us relate to each other and helping bring us together to address these things, these issues. And I feel like it's I feel like what's happening is fast. Like the changes are coming fast is what I'm feeling. And I'm just hoping that we can really do things in a more mindful way, because it doesn't have to be, being mindful and aware and of what we're doing doesn't mean it has to necessarily be slow. But I think there is potential for for error, right? When we do things in a hasty way, or in a undirected, coming from raw emotion, undirected, misdirected. So just being very aware of the direction we're going in, and what is it that's fueling us, that's pushing us in that direction. Do we need to change that, right? Do we need to adjust, make adjustments? Okay, so I have the King of Swords come out. So I'm getting two groups. I'm actually getting one for people that identify with masculine energy, and then one that identify with feminine energy, or men and women, or like I said, those who identify strongly or more directly. So we'll do masculine first. That's what came out first here. Okay, these are just flying. Okay, just really, okay, manifestation time. And like I said, like, it's just, I feel like the changes are just coming. And that might be how you feel also, is what I'm feeling, is what I'm picking up on. Like, that might be how you feel. Okay, yeah. I feel like for many of you, there's this real urgency, right? Real urgency, which is beautiful and really great. I feel like there needs to be some more groundedness. I feel like there needs to be more groundedness for many of you, many of us. Okay. Really evaluating and understanding the effect of our own actions, right? It's coming right back to that message. Also, really evaluating, coming back to the effect of our own actions, and really having that grounding, that foundation, right? The tools, meditating, clearing the mind, coming back into the heart space, into the body, so that we can have that clarity and not be so cluttered up here, to really evaluate what is the effect of our actions, right? What direction are they leading us in? And in a way, that is choosing your path. Okay, I kind of can understand. I can see that now more clearly, right? Okay. Okay, I see that happening. Coming back to ourselves, coming back to a place of grounding and clarity happening. I feel like for some of you, you kind of definitely do have the tools, and some not as much. Kind of very similar to what I was feeling in the last reading, actually. I have a couple of the same cards come out, actually, as the last reading, so maybe I'll kind of repeat some of those messages. So I do see this real awareness of, like, I do see the awareness that we need to be moving in a different direction, right? Okay, that's this whole theme, really, for this reading, from what I'm seeing here, okay? I feel like there's a real readiness. There's that some work has been done, internal work has really been done. I feel like for many of you, a lot of inheritance of some really beautiful qualities. Maybe your parents have really done a lot of spiritual work, or a lot of, a lot of work to heal and evolve. Okay. Or that's it. That might not, in your lineage, in your ancestral or blood ancestral lineage, or spiritual lineage that you come from, or whether you know what that is or not. That's really helped to prepare you and put you in a great position. okay, to do this and to support and to help. And I see that as a role for many of you. Tuning in. Okay. Okay. It's funny, this message is kind of coming in the reverse from what I read yesterday from the same card. So what I'm feeling is that there's a real effort. Okay, this is real, yeah, going forward, right? I feel like for some of you, there's this leaving behind of certain people maybe in your life that aren't feeling as motivated to do that. And I'm getting a message of, you know, allow people to fill the space that they need to fill. You know, not everybody's role is different, you know, and we need to, I think it's important not to judge people, right, for where they're at and their own capacity and for what they're, you know, because even if they're not aware of it, their role might be something that's much more kind of in the background and unseen. And again, reflecting on what are the, you know, and if you really feel strongly and don't understand and want to understand, even if you had conversations with these folks or this person, like really coming to a place of clarity and seeing, okay, like what is it that they are doing? And what is the effect of that? You know, how is that adding to the collective energy? You know, maybe somebody that likes to kind of sit back, maybe somebody a little bit more introverted that likes to, you know, stay home and who meditates and, you know, goes on a lot of walks, goes outside and making that connection. You know, we're all on a different journey, but we're all also constantly contributing to the collective energy. So just kind of being aware of that and kind of stepping back from our own judgments, I think is an important message. And I think that that's for more than this particular situation that I was just feeling, but in a more general way as well. Okay. Beautiful. I feel like for some of you, you're continuing family business, but I don't feel like for many of you, if any, it's an actual business, more of a metaphor for carrying the torch, right? Service. There's this really familial, very ancestral, and like I said, it could be, you know, actual blood ancestors or just our spiritual, you know, ancestors, which to clarify, spiritual heritage, spiritual ancestors, I feel like it's not just where we're from or from what our ethnicities, you know, and the heritage associated with that maybe ethnicity or group, but also like what we resonate with, what we are going towards. Like, you know, I was, you know, the only real any kind of religion or spirituality came from my mother's side, which was which most of them are Catholic, and it took me a while to kind of come around to that, to really like connect with Jesus and that, you know, and that thing. But first I started relating more to Hinduism and Buddhism and Eastern traditions, spiritual traditions, really strongly, which I still feel, you know, incredibly connected to for sure. Probably I would connect with them with that primary in terms of the practices that I do on a daily basis. So I would consider that also part of my spiritual heritage, because that's what I connect with, you know, really strongly, and that's, you know, I feel it in me, right? So anyway, that's really beautiful to see that something in the family, or there's a recognition of this carrying on of the torch, right? Regardless of if you're from that culture or ethnicity or whatever or not, that's maybe normally associated with that spiritual tradition or religion. And so there's this real wanting to pass that on, right? Pass that wisdom on. And I'm feeling that for the most part, there's not a lot of dogmatism in that. There's not a lot of like wanting to like necessarily like convert people as much as like just wanting to share because it's, you know, helps you. It's, you know, change your life, whatever. Yeah, and really, yeah. I mean, I think the thing that wants to come out too is something that I feel really strongly, and I always try to share with people, is that, you know, we need to learn how to see all of the traditions and you know, from different cultures, and see their value and not feel like one is superior than the other, because I think that's absolutely not true. and that there's so many of us with so many different, they're so different, you know, that at different parts of our life, we might need something, we might need one thing, one practice, you know, might resonate with one tradition, and then need something from another, you know, and there are all these beautiful, you know, stepping stones, these beautiful doorways into a deeper understanding of ourselves, and going deeper and deeper into understanding our true nature, deeper and deeper into love, you know. Okay, so I'm feeling like feeling such bright energy. Wow, really nice. And many of you, yeah, I'm just feeling a lot of really good positive stuff, really just in a beautiful place to really receive and act out, right? Receive the whatever you need to receive, in terms of like what your role is, you know, what is the right action, what is the, you know, most potent, and really having that ability to go and do it, you know, and the motivation, the drive, the very natural sense of like, oh, this is natural, this is just yeah, this is just the direction, this is just it. Very bright, and just this beautiful cultivation, right? As you move through, as you know, go into your action, your place, you go down your path of service. There's this beautiful, just continuing to cultivate and, you know, do your practices, and yeah, and for that may look very different, you know, and we shouldn't discount things that aren't traditionally seen as spiritual practice, you know, as less than, because, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, I think the most powerful way to do our spiritual practice is to live it, you know, is to live in a way that's where we're constantly making an effort to relate to each other, constantly doing our best to see each other in a more loving way, treat each other in a more loving way, understand our true relationship throughout our day with everybody we meet and everybody we see. You know, even if something as simple as just going on a little walk outside, you know, connecting and, you know, finding some gratitude in your heart for, you know, the trees, the animals, the ecosystem, everything that supports us. And in that way, it's a beautiful, yeah, beautiful way of cultivating, even if it may not seem traditional, or even if you're not sitting, meditating every day or chanting, whatever, or praying. There's so many ways to connect and to touch and to do that work, right? Okay, great. So that was what I was picking up a lot for masculine sort of energies. Really beautiful, positive, you know, divine masculine kind of coming out there. Very healing. Yeah, I feel like there's a really huge amount of healing happening. I'm gonna actually pull fresh. Okay, let's come into tapping into our feminines, our beautiful feminine fairy folk out there. Let's see what we can see, what would be very helpful on healing and just tapping in, seeing where everybody's at the end of this month. Anything looking to be acknowledged, to be, that's a lot of cards. Let's maybe just give me a few. Jeez Louise. Sorry, y'all. Okay, here we go. Interesting. I feel like some of you that are resonating, that yeah, just feel that more of that feminine in yourself, more drawn to the feminine, or women, or just, you know, however you connect with that. And this is not, and it's not exclusively like for women or people that identify like that, but also that feminine side of us, or that are really connecting with that. I feel like there's a lot of ooh, it feels like really big. It feels like waves, like like being queasy on like a ship, on like a little ship. Is like kind of like rough waters. It feels like, yeah, it feels like y'all have been through a lot, and are going through a lot. Okay. And I'm feeling. It's so funny. This is funny. Like from yesterday's reading for Earth signs, I felt like I'm getting a lot of the opposite messages, or like these is like a really interesting mirroring. So whereas yesterday I felt like the masculines really needed to, the message was of support was really to look to the women in your life and connect with the women in your life. Or it may actually have been the water sign on Wednesday. I can't remember. Anyway, looking to, yeah, really connect with the women and feel support and get support, you know, and some really beautiful stuff coming out there. I think it was water actually. But so for our fire reading today, I'm feeling like the women, or the people identify with the feminine energy, really, yeah, really, the advice is to really connect with the men in your life, and really seek that support, and really like feel, yeah, to feel held and protected and safe, and to help ground, right? To help ground. That's really beautiful, yeah. I think that these qualities, right, masculine and feminine, have these very inherent qualities, and very inherent ability to do very different things, right? That can be healing, you know, and very nourishing. And we shouldn't reject that. We shouldn't reject that, you know, even if we feel strong, even if we are. I think there's a difference between rejecting traditional gender roles in a social kind of way, right? As to not feel imposed on, or less than, right? Because which is maybe what a lot of these traditional gender roles have done in, you know, in our society, right? And so I think that I think that there's a message coming through that's about not. Don't confuse that with the inherent qualities of masculine and feminine, right? Like it doesn't make you weak to go to the men in your life for support, right? In the same way that it doesn't make it, you know, doesn't make the masculine weak to go to the feminine for support. You know what I mean? I think that there's a lot of healing happening with that, when we feel like, you know, the masculine doesn't feel demasculine. What's the word? Forgetting the word, like demasculated. I forgot what that word is. But anyway, by going towards the feminine, and yeah, the women don't feel like they're giving up all their power, right? So I feel like there's a message about that, and the healing of that, and learning to trust a little bit. And certainly we should be aware of who we're going towards, right? And but when there's real trust there, really building on that, right? When there's real love there, real support right there, then building that trust is important, and I feel is an obstacle for some in this feminine, those relating to this feminine quality. Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's been a rough road, really navigating these waves, like really feels quite lost at sea, quite confused. Not like yourself. Yeah, that's what I feel. Not like yourself, really, not like yourself. And I mean, can understand, you know, things have been completely crazy, you know, give yourself understand that it's not just you, you know, right? I'm feeling like the overall feeling is just, yeah, being a little bit lost in the suffering, being a little bit lost in the sea of suffering. That's what I really feel. And not seeing the precious opportunities that are in this time, not seeing the fertile ground, not seeing the, you know, the fertility of the ground that's, that is allowing an opportunity for real change, you know, real precious opportunity, not seeing that real precious opportunity. Okay. Or not seeing it in its entirety, in its fullness, right? Because that's a really great source of nourishment, really. Really seeing how fertile the ground is. That is to be very nourishing and really help with that drive that I feel, I want to say, you normally have. It can be very hard to feel a drive in a direction when you're so lost, you know, and suffering a lot, certainly. I feel like for many of you, you're not, which is beautiful, that it's not maybe your own suffering or the suffering of your own situation, but like really like feeling and having real deep empathy and compassion for the suffering of others, which is beautiful. And something I think that you should share, how powerful that is and how important that work is to really learn how to embrace the suffering as others, as your suffering, and see the suffering of others as your own suffering, as if they're your family, you know, because they are. They are. We are, you know, they are your brother, they are your sister, they are your sibling, earth sibling, spiritual sibling, soul sibling, right? Okay. Okay, so what is this about? Well, you guys are really wired. I feel it really strongly that y'all are feeling really, yeah. Breathe. There needs to, yeah, be some grounding. Yeah. Okay, I see. I haven't been showing a lot of cards today, sorry. But it's been coming through so strong, just needing to kind of blast through it. Okay. I feel like this is the energy to embody in this time. Sorry, here we hold. Okay. King of Pentacles. And I'm feeling like this energy is very rational, very, not meticulous, but very able to see clearly each part. Just seeing clearly each part, each corner, each supposed side, you know. Very in control, and an extremely strong foundation, And if you don't feel like you have that or the tools, please reach out to me. I would be more than happy to share with you personally, or to just share resources as well, and to work with you privately also if you want to do any kind of intuitive work, tarot, or healing work, or are interested in learning more about meditation. I also teach Qigong, and which is incredibly grounding. It's, oh my God, it's amazing. I love it. It feels so good. I feel like it's interesting also that it came out just right now, because I'm feeling like there's an aspect of not feeling good in your body as well, is what I'm feeling and channeling. And I feel like it has to do with just a lot of anxiety, which is why this is sort of the perfect antidote, this real earthy, real yeah. And I'm not just saying this to only to plug myself, but I do feel like it's really interesting that came out, because I'm seeing this as me right now, actually. Whenever I look at a face card, I'm always like, who is this, and that's a really interesting, cool way to do tarot for yourself or for others. You look at it and even ask that person, who is this, who is this in your life? Is it you? What, who is it, somebody else? And I'm feeling like I would work well with somebody watching here. So please reach out. I'm like super open. And if you feel like you might not have the money or whatever, like, please don't worry about that. Like, just reach out. You know, I'm much more concerned about supporting you all than anything else, and being there to support. Okay, so let's move on. Three of Wands. Okay, so I see with that grounding, once you really develop into that more grounded place and learn to curb that anxiety and really like work around it, if it's something that's strong, really strong in you, and you've had a hard time with for a long time, yeah, I do not only see relief, but real development through, you know, enhancing your spiritual toolbox, and your really transforming the way you are, right? Really like just breathing through your day, living through your day in a way that's more healing and grounding, okay? Really bringing that into your life, into your daily life, right? And becoming that way, becoming that. Okay? The best way to begin to heal and transform these negative habits of whatever it is, anxiety, anger, whatever, is to allow the opposite, healing emotion, energy, the opposite way, right? Like, all you have to do is ask yourself, what is the opposite of what I'm feeling that I want to transform? Okay? Like anger, hatred, love. Yeah, right? Very simple. And we find ways of introducing that and into our life and bringing that in, right? Anxiety, peace, calm. How do we calm ourselves? It's very simple, right? Very, very simple. And I feel like as you go through that process and really come out the other side, not out the other side, but as you evolve, right? As you evolve through and really see those changes taking place, I see you being even more ready to take on what I feel many of you, have an idea of taking on, which is something quite big and something very transformational for yourself and the world. And I think that there, just has to be a recognition of, like, and that could be something, that could be a motivator, right? A recognition that we need to be in a solid place, before we do that bigger work, that big vision work, big picture work. Okay. And again, I think I said this in either last week or in another reading earlier this week, for the end of the month readings. It's like, this Ram Dass is, has always said, which I really resonate with, is, we can only offer others and the world, that which we ourselves, have attained or have worked on. We can't offer peace if we're not peaceful. We can't offer, healing if we haven't done our own healing, right? I think that's something to really remember, right? And help to motivate you and encourage you, right? So that's what I'm just picking up for feminine, for our feminines out there. I really feeling kind of going through it right now. So I'm definitely healing with the masculine, for sure. Okay. And again, for somebody, I'm feeling out there, there's like somebody out there like that would really work. We would really work well together. I don't know why I'm feeling that. I had somebody who's a close friend, a really dear, beautiful friend here in Monterey, who she had a lot of reservation with working with men, doing healing work, doing energy work, and this kind of intuitive work. And it was funny because when I offered her that, she didn't say that to me immediately, but I think she also did have a bad experience. Not like, it just didn't feel resonant while somebody was working with her. And it just didn't feel, it just didn't feel resonant. And so she was like, oh, maybe I should stick with working with women, right? And then it was maybe a couple weeks after that she reached back out to me after actually watching me do some healing work on another friend of ours. And while we were all kind of together, it was kind of just a little spontaneous work. And she said to me after seeing that and having done some other reflections, like, wow, like, you know, while we maybe see women as traditionally taking those healing roles, right? That role of the healer, the nourisher, the nurturer, right? Just the supreme nurturer, right? There's this kind of recognition she was sharing, like we all can take on those energies, and some of us actually really do have more of a feminine energy that are, you know, like for me, I mean, I'm like a straight, you know, like I identify as a male, you know, straight male, pretty strongly, but I also feel like I really feel my feminine come out strongly, especially when I do this work. I feel like it's kind of necessary for me to really tap in when I'm doing this work, to do it, to be clear, to have clarity. And yeah, she was just kind of saying like that it was kind of something in her that she wants to transform, is like kind of not seeing, seeing past like the traditional, and that is another traditional gender role, you know, or traditional role based on gender. And we ended up working together, and we got together, and I ended up working with her. And she was quite nervous. She was quite nervous because she also hadn't had energy work done in a long time. And in fact, that was the last time when she had that other experience, and she was like, maybe not. And it was beautiful, you know, it was really beautiful. It was great. And she's also like a good friend of mine. So that obviously really helped to create that safe space. But I think what she took away, and we both took away from that, was like, I remember her saying like, just we're working just so gently, and like she was surprised about how gentle it was. I feel like that's something to reflect on for those we're resonating with the feminine spread that I just did. It's like maybe second chances seems to be a theme of that, like another chance, second chances, especially with people you do feel you trust. Anyway, I guess long story short, right? Oh my god, I've been getting the same cards coming out for like almost every reading. For every reading I've had like a couple cards. It was exactly the same towards the end of the week. That's crazy. Anyway. Here's the first one. So I'm going to do what I've been doing for the other readings, and this is a little bit of like a homework or little practice, you know, if you're interested in doing this kind of work, or just, you know, want to kind of explore and see what your own capacity is to connect, right? And to get these messages for yourself every now and then. So something another really beautiful reader taught me, actually, and did for me, was, so we hold the card up, and we take a look at the card. And the way he taught me was to just ask, what do you see? Taking a nice big breath, or 2 or 3, just to clear the mind, really coming back into the body, really opening up. Letting go of whatever's going on in the mind. Letting go, coming back to the body. What do you feel? What are any emotions coming up when you look at this? Any single words? Anything coming over you? Any memories? Anything coming through? You can pause the video and do this practice for as long as you need to. Okay. Yeah, I don't feel like I need to say anything. I'm just going to go ahead and show you this. I had a really cool card outcome for you guys last. I'll show you that one last. I'm hoping you can see these clearly. here you go. Here's our last one here. Pretty cool. Okay. So I will offer a few words on this one. I'm feeling like this is really speaking to the feminine spread that we just did. Especially for those that are feeling more lost in this time. We all just have like such an amazing amount to offer and just don't realize it. And some of us just have no idea, you know, and it's just like these beautiful gems that we all carry, these beautiful abilities, gifts, you know, so many things, from the arts, you know, music to, you know, visual art, to can be so transformational and so healing and so inspiring for so many people, you know, to not just in arts, but in so many different areas, you know, in technology and science. And who knows, you might be the next inventor of something crazy that totally saves the world, you know, or totally like, you know, whatever, starts rebuilding the coral reefs, or who knows, you know, who knows, or something that just miraculously cleans up the air, or, you know, whatever, who knows. But don't discount that which you have, or that you resonate with, you know, even if it doesn't seem like it's gonna help or support in this time, you know. We can always use our gifts, and that's what they're there for. Like, that's why we have our gifts, you know. It's because if we really do the work to develop, right, and we really do that work, and take that time and have that dedication, what comes out of them is quite healing, you know. And also and having that in mind, and having that aspiration of wanting our work to be healing and nourishing and transformative for ourselves and the world and others. Just having that intention, that aspiration, that determination, right? Yeah, you will certainly, I have no doubt that you will certainly find that way, right? Find that avenue, right? The water, your river will find its way to the sea, right? So I'm going to go ahead and close here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close here. This has been really beautiful. Oh man, this has been a great end of the week of our first month. Great end of the month. Yeah, just so much gratitude to you guys. This is just, it's so nourishing for me to do this work. And it's, starting this channel has been just like a really long time coming. And yeah, it's just, for me personally, it just feels so great to do this. Yeah, I definitely like look back at the videos and rewatch and and get so many awesome little gems that maybe I'm not as able to be present for when I'm actually channeling the messages and delivering. So they truly have been like as nourishing for me as they are for you all, and or I hope they have been for you all. And yeah, if you would like to support me, which would be so appreciated, yeah, you could leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. You'll get like updates for, you know, whenever I post new videos. And I'm going to be doing a lot more than tarot on this channel as we go through, as we continue. Be offering other healing practices and sending energy, and I'll be posting clips from events that I do, for now virtual events, and meditations and things like that. And if you guys want to see anything else or have some particular issue or anything like that, please like leave a comment, and I'd love to like just even talk to you and just you know, say hi. But yeah, if there's anything you want to see or would like guidance about, I'd be happy to like do a short video on Instagram or something about it. Just let me know. Yeah, throw a comment down there or send me a message. My Instagram is also Brother Earth Healing, just one word, just Brother Earth Healing, without any spaces or anything. Yeah, I post a lot of cool stuff up there. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, oh, I'm gonna be, if any of you are catching this today, I'm gonna be doing an online event tomorrow on Saturday with a good friend of mine, and we're gonna be offering some healing practices and sending some energy, and then on Sunday in San Francisco, actually in Oakland, that same friend and I are going to be offering like space for well, I guess it's more of like a peaceful demonstration. So we're going to be doing meditation, you know, kind of group meditation outdoors in Oakland, um, and a walking meditation, and we're going to have some group sharing circles as well, and possibly some really awesome guest speakers as well for that. So if you're interested, please reach out. I'd be more than happy to send you the information, or if you're interested in doing private work with me, yeah, be so happy to do that. So thank you so much once again. Yeah, I can't say thank you enough, and so much gratitude, and just, you know, many blessings to you.